Welcome, Steve. So this is Steve Mullane. You live in a house called the Garth in Tynron.
Right, yeah.
And
Yeah.
you've been very generously going to share some of your experiences with us today on insulation. Number one, what led you to invest your time and your money into installing insulation?
Right. Well, we moved here in 2014, and it was in the summer. It was in June, so it was very nice. It was a warm summer. And then we got to the winter, and we tried to heat the house, and that was quite difficult. And we found that we really struggled to get the house warm, even if we ran the heating system all day long, really. The most we could get it up to was probably about 14 degrees, 15 degrees, which isn't great.
Question number two, what different types of insulation are there? And can you talk us through the general installation process?
Insulation falls into two key categories. One is vapor open and the other is vapor closed. And most of the modern insulations, they're vapor closed. So they're not designed to breathe or to allow the movement of moisture within the fabric of the building. So they're not ideal really for older buildings that typically will have solid walls, would have originally been built. A lot of the buildings in Scotland, certainly around this area, are what are called mass masonry, so they're stone walls built with lime, and they were designed to breathe, so they would take on moisture and then release it again when the weather warmed up. So using those vapor closed insulations is quite a bad thing because you're kind of you're preventing the building from breathing. Cell or vapor open materials are more natural products, so they're like cellulose, so paper, insulation materials, wood fibre products, hemp, sheep's wool. These are all natural, breathable products. The product that we use, which is called isonine, which is a water-based foam, and it's open cell, so it's able to breathe, and works in a similar way. You drill holes in the wall from floor to ceiling, and then it's injected through those holes, and it expands into the cavity. It fills all the spaces inside the cavity, and then the guys just work up the wall to the top, gradually filling it with foam, and then you end up with a completely sealed, well, not sealed, but a completely filled gap between the lath and plaster and the stone wall, which is vapor open, so the wall can still work in the way in which it was intended. The floor in one of our rooms had enough space to be able to crawl underneath, so they were able to spray on the underside of the floor and build up 150 millimetres of insulation under the floor.
Right, number three, if you could go back in time and start again with your installation, what would you do, or if anything, would you do anything differently?
But probably not, no. Well, definitely not. We've been quite happy with the isonine. I think it made a massive difference in terms of the house warmth and retention of heat. So, you know, of all the things that we've done, by far the wall insulation was the biggest impact, which was quite surprising, really.
Right, thank you, Steve. We're going to end up now, just for fun, a couple of questions to pry into your personal life while you're in lockdown.
Right.
Number one, if you could only drink one type of alcoholic drink for the next 3 weeks, and that's not just you're only allowed one drink, you're allowed as much as you like, but it can only be one variety, what would it be?
Tricky one. Well, it would probably have to be a nice hoppy IPA.
Number two, if you could spend lockdown with any celebrity in the world, dead or alive, who would you choose?
But because I have to give an answer, it would. I think it would be Donald Trump.
Oh my goodness! Right. Okay, that's an interesting one. Can you tell us why?
Well, I think it would do the American people a good service to lock him up for a few weeks, wouldn't it?
Genius, absolute genius. I could not have imagined a better answer. Thank you very much. Right, Steve, thanks so much.
Okay.
I'll let you go for now, and yep, can't thank you enough. I look forward to your piece on solar thermal.